All right, here I am at City of Ink in the Castleberry Hill district with the photographer Carla Aaron-Lopez, and I'm going to talk to her about her show, My Black American Life. So, Carla, tell me about the show.
The show is pretty much my response of how I view Black America as of right now. A lot of the times growing up, I got told that Black people didn't do whatever, they did it this kind of way, and I never understood that. And I think that's because I grew up when the world was starting to become more and more diverse. I want to help start defining this youth culture that I'm a part of, that we understand where we're coming from. We understand where we need to go. It's just everything in between. We're trying to figure that out because we're tired of the rap stars as our role models. We're tired of pimps, hustlers, and gangbangers as our role models. We're looking for something that's not what has previously been shown of Black people. So I'm trying to start to define new imagery, things that people like me can look at and identify with and say, my life is similar to that. I want to be able to be that person for someone else like me.
Tell me then, and I think this might have been an outgrowth of like the civil rights movement, but whenever a Black artist makes work, it seems as if they're expected to be speaking for the entire race, but your work seems to be really specifically about you, and so I just wonder if that's what you intended.
The best way I can answer that for you is that I am a representation of Black people in the U.S. Just as a whole, that's when people first see me, you can identify that I'm Black. When you hear me talk, you can figure out that I'm from America. Hence the title, My Black American Life. Now, as representing the absolute whole, is that my statement? No. I refuse to represent a whole because there are so many different kinds of Black people that exist in the United States, and that's what my work is speaking upon. Everybody has different ideologies as to who and what Black people are. My mother always told me if I tried to be weird, I'd end up weird, which is essentially what happened. But there's no dialogue for strange Black people. There's no dialogue for Black people that get tattoos. There's no dialogue for skater Black people, Afro punks, Gothic Black people, all of these different subcultures that make up American culture. We seem to be excluded, and I'm trying to figure out how we can become inclusive without losing identity. And that's why the photographs in my series range from burlesque dancers to preachers getting installed into a church. This is my life. These are all of the things that I see and all of the things that I participate in. But it doesn't represent everybody. I want to show you an example is pretty much what I'm doing.
And here we are in a tattoo parlor. This is not a traditional art space, so what made you choose a non-traditional art space to show your work?
I chose this space mainly because, first and foremost, traditional spaces make me feel very uncomfortable. I wouldn't be able to be myself. I want to give you a show. I want to provide an installation someplace where I'm very, very comfortable. And this is one of those places. I do come here a lot. I get tattooed here a lot. I hang out here a lot, and I participate in the art shows that they have here frequently. And then it matches the work. I wanted people to come into a warm environment and not a sterile environment. I do love visiting traditional galleries, and I do love going to museums, but sometimes the environment can be very sterile. You can't touch anything. You can't sit down. My life is not like that. My life is all over the place, you know. If I have a good night, I'm going to eat a good meal, drink a couple of beers, and have some conversations with my friends. And that's kind of what I wanted to reproduce. I wanted to reproduce that environment, and it happened successfully.
I look at these pictures, and you use like that harsh flash and the sort of snapshot aesthetic, and that lends in this sort of air of authenticity or realness. And I think that's something that you're going for. How important is that to you?
Me, I told someone this the other day. What I do isn't necessarily special, outside of the fact that I have had formal training to make a snapshot go a little bit further. The composition, printing it, and the color, I've had formal training for that, but the actual moment itself, that realness that people are interested in, yeah, these things actually happened. All I have is a camera and a flash, and if it happens and I can get that just a good shot, I'm successful with it.